right now. We'll see if it gets broken by Parting.
Interesting to notice also that those two faced each other not too long ago at MLG Winter Championship, and Marine King was able to take the best of 3 with 2-1.
Yeah, he is... Marine King recently in the Team League has just been looking like the hero his team needs. When he gets called out, he very rarely loses. He's been always winning when he comes out. He has not disappointed his team really this season, whereas in previous seasons, he's had a few nerve issues, he's been a little bit nervous, and sometimes he's choked, but he just doesn't choke anymore, Calder. He doesn't do that anymore.
And what's also really interesting to notice that even when Marine and the King has sometimes had a bad day, then his team has always stepped up for him. We had the situation in the first time we had those two teams facing each other in this season when StarTale was facing Prime. In the group stage, Marine King came out to beat Curious, was not able to do so, but his team, they were able to take the match nonetheless. Really nice performance, but I'm pretty sure that today he wants to show that he can also win matches in the GSTL for his team.
I'm sure he absolutely will. This probe will actually come in and scout. No gas is barely sneaking past that Marine. Crazy to be able to sneak past a Marine of the Marine King, but this probe has done it. He's now going to get trapped in the corner, unfortunately. That will end that probe scout.
Nice.
But he checks for the command center. A great job with that probe by Parting. So, of course, back at home at Parting's base, he only has 1 gas. Look at that, Marine King fan. Squirtle used water gun, it's super effective. Of course, now the Nexus is going down for Parting. It's only a little bit behind the command center. Marine King back at home is adding 2 additional barracks, going up to 3 that allow him to put a little bit of Marine pressure on his opponent after his command center's up.
Exactly, so right now we have them on cross position, and we already have the warp gate technology being researched, and this is going to be pretty interesting. We've seen very nice maps.
It's like someone wants us to be a StarTale Quantic 5-4. Well, I hope we get to go to our 9th match. That would be awesome. Double refineries going down now for Marine King as he sends his SCV out to scout what Parting is up to.
We were actually hoping that we could give you guys a best of 11, and we asked Mr. Che, but he didn't really like the idea. He wanted to go home a little bit earlier. But we tried.
Blame Mr. Che. Just put all your blames on him. Now, this SCV actually will scout the Nexus. He wasn't able to deny it in time, and he actually will likely catch it here. It doesn't look like it's going to escape.
Yeah, I think it will actually...
Well, with the line of sight blocker, he might... Oh! A little bit of hesitation on that Stalker. I think he's going to escape. Oh!
A little bit of a hiccup here, but maybe...
Oh my god, the Marines are out! And he's going to get it! Gets us a little bit of hit points on the Stalker. I thought he would get the Stalker, but nice reaction by Parting as well, saving that Stalker.
The Stalker had it back, and we already have, of course, and once again, the robotics. It's just so important to get the robo really fast in the game, because if there's going to be some Banshee play with Cloak, then you definitely need something in order to detect the Cloak Banshees. So robo is a must in this matchup.
Yeah, not only for the Cloak, but also just to see what your opponent is up to. Getting the robotics just lets you be so safe. Now, the Forge is on the way for our Protoss player, but Marine King has already started +1 with a very quick engineering bay. That's so important. This is something we've been watching Marine King do a lot recently, getting these fast upgrades for his bio to try to compete with the Protoss upgrades, because in this matchup, a lot of Terrans have been complaining and struggling with the fact that the Protoss upgrade research has been reduced. The cost has been reduced. If you chrono boost, you can get it up very quickly. It's very difficult to deal with heavily upgraded Protoss units. So as a result, Terrans have kind of adapted right now. They're getting that faster +1, sometimes even fast double E-bays.
We have not double reactor for Marine King at this point. He's heading the factory, but what did we just see?
I think you just saw that Marine King has no idea what's in the main base. He doesn't know what sort of tech his opponent is going for. He has basically no idea what's up the top of that ramp. So he's a little bit hesitant to put on some pressure at this point. With those double reactors, though, he is going to have a lot more Marine production here, and you know, he is the king of Marines, but he loves to put pressure on with his first 2 medevacs with a bunch of Marines with stim and +1. That's what he's really been doing in this matchup right now. We've even seen it earlier today in the IPL tournament.
We have a Twilight Council right away now for his opponent. Parting is also getting the first few observers. Once again, he's not relying on only one of them, but tries to position some along the map. And that's, for example, one of the differences between what Creator usually does and what Parting does. Creator, rather known for just trying to scout with his observers and constantly moving them, which allows his opponents to just scan and take them down. But Parting is kind of known of using his observers really positional in order to get good view on the key areas on the map, so that he's always in a position where he can counter-attack every single time his opponent is moving out.
Wow, he actually was right on top of that observer, despite the fact that Parting is normally so careful. Marine King knew it was coming. He took it out instantly. But like you were saying, he makes several observers. He's got a second one already going across the map. A third one just popped out of production. Templar Archives going up off of 2 base from Parting here. And, you know, we've seen Parting and Oz. They're the 2 players who really know how to use 2 base Templar Archive tech the best. We'll see how it's executed here. Marine King loves to move out with his first 2 medevacs with his Marines with just a few Mirages in the mix, hitting that +1 timing. Right when he gets to his opponent's base is when combat shields finishes. He's mastered this timing. He does this almost every game in TVP right now. And that's something that Parting probably knows. He's trying to prepare. He's getting a few more sentries out here. He's warping in Templar, getting an Archon. This is going to be a pretty tough push to defend.
Yeah, definitely. The Archon will certainly help a bit, but here comes Marine King with all those Marines that he already has in the game. His combat shield is going to finish, as you mentioned. And we have a few Marauders joining the party as well, but not too many of them. And this is going to be pretty rough.
Yeah, this is going to be really tough indeed. Combat shields finish. He uses feedbacks on the medevac. An interesting choice here. A scan goes off. He feedbacks a second medevac. That means no healing. Marine King with great micro here. Some good force fields going down though.
Wow, beautiful micro here with his Marines. He's got Marine King for a reason.
Oh man, I don't know if Parting can hold this. There's so many Marines in here. The force field's now working against Parting. Great Marine control here. He's taken out so many of the Zealots. There's not much of a buffer left.
And he's walking up the ramp once again. Stims once more and now trying to chase down these Stalkers. He's losing a lot of units, but he's killing a ton too.
Yeah, this is a really good trade for Marine King, but those feedbacks means the medevacs did have to pull back until they could get a little bit more energy. So Marine King is pushed back for now, but that was a great trade for him. Meanwhile, he's taken a 3rd base. His +1 armor is finished up here, and Parting is on the back foot.
And he's now just going for the drop play, but right underneath one of the observers. So Parting definitely knows what's going to happen. And if he's able to just feedback those 2, well, actually they don't have enough energy, though, so it won't matter too much. But he has the Stalkers in position as well in order to repel this.
Yeah, he should be able to repel this quite easily. Here they come. Feedback goes down. 1 medevac, almost dead. Nice save. Marine King actually got engaged on the edge there.
Really, really well done. Just drops a few Marines so that the Stalkers will attack the Marines instead of the medevac. Really well done. Nice save here by Marine King. 109 supply against 99. Marine King now with a 3rd base already.
Yeah, Parting needs to take a fast 3rd. He needs to get a 3rd up very soon here, because if he does not, Marine King is going to take a huge lead economically. He's already got a lead in army supply. The upgrades right now fairly even, with Marine King getting 2-2.
And we have the 3rd base now also for Parting, who's researching Storm, not only getting the charge upgrade, but also Storm. This is exactly what we've seen him do against Maro as well, and this is going to be so interesting. Marine King, one of the best players when he comes down to the Marine split against the High Templar micro of Parting. This is going to be epic.
Yeah, it really will. I'm actually really excited to see this, because Parting does not hesitate with his storms. I've said it so many times tonight, but his storms, we saw it in the game against Maro. He just had 2 Templar out in the middle of the map, but they're there to storm. They're just out there. You can basically call those 2 Templar 2 psionic storms, because that's what they're there for.
And they are just spot on. Every single storm just hits, and he's able to lure his opponent into just movement patterns that always work in his favor.
Yep, indeed he does. The +2 armor is about to finish for Parting, but Marine King's 2-2 upgrades are getting very close as well here. Consider, of course, that Parting is at 1-1 right now. If they engage, both upgrades are similar, but Marine King will have 2-2 first.
We now have the Ghost Academy for Marine King as well, not to counter those High Templars. He's moving up the ramp once again.
Marine King cannot engage this with Storms out. He needs those ghosts. He does not have them. Wow, a ton of Marines going down. Parting, taking out so many units here. You may even lose the medevacs. Nice control by Marine King, pulling them back at the last moment, but he knows now, I cannot engage up this ramp.
Yeah, he needs to be very, very careful. He lost at least one of his High Templars, and we have more and more observers now being built, and here comes Parting right now, trying to chase down Marine King with his charge, with his Archons, taking down those medevacs as well.
This is looking really bad for Marine King. He's losing a lot here. The Zealots cannot be stopped. The medevac's going down here as well. Parting, though, losing a lot of supply as a result.
and he needs to retreat. And Marine King is already up at 130 against 100, taking a significant lead here in this game in supply, and is now getting +3 upgrades already. His macro is just so incredible.
I've never seen such forward barracks. Look at these 3 barracks. You can see them on the minimap. He's made them outside of his natural. They're like in the middle of the map. He's just using them because Marine King is one of those aggressive players who loves to constantly attack. He wants to be able to rally out reinforcements from the middle of the map, quite literally.
Yeah, probably just really doesn't care where they are because he figures the parting is probably not going to cross the middle of the map again.
Yeah, he's not going to give him that opportunity if he can help it. A scan does go down here. He's going to stem a small group of units to target down these Templar before they can storm. Nice Archon micro there, warping them into an Archon to save them at the last second. But Marine King just has so many different groups of units.
Losing another few of his High Templars here. He really needs those storms, but he doesn't have the energy, and he doesn't have the High Templar. And now Marine King is once again stepping away, but losing a lot of units here as well. He has a bit of a problem at his hand. He's dropping in supply, and Parting is just chasing him down with a charge zealot, doing a ton of damage, taking down Medivacs, Marauders, and Marines, and now Marine King on the back foot here.
Yeah, Marine King definitely having to retreat though with his crazy macro. Their supply is very even in army. It's 55 to 65 right now in favor of our StarTale player, but he's not stopping the attack. Some zealots are going around the north to attack the command center that Marine King is making, so that's going to draw him back. And during this time, StarTale Parting may be able to actually attack those barracks that are in the middle of the map.
Another little bit of engagement here, just scouting the 4th base of Marine King, and soon the 3/3 upgrades will be done for MKP. We have now also the robotics tech. He's going for the robotics bay and therefore the Colossi. It's going to be pretty interesting to see what exactly Marine King has as an answer for this. And those barracks are being attacked right now by storms. Beautiful storms take the army of Marine King apart.
Oh man, this is looking, even though those storms are really good, this is still looking good for Marine King. His macro is out of control. He's had that 4th base up for so long. His production just continues. 3 Marauders, 6 Marines at a time. His 3/3 upgrades are finishing. He's getting +1 ship weapons right now. His macro does not stop. It's 162 supply to 145. So even though those storms have been good, now Marine King has a new army and he's got Ghost with it this time.
He's down 174 supply, another engagement immediately. We have beautiful EMPs here for Marine King, and he's dropping in supply nonetheless, as we have more of these Archons and Zealots just chasing the army down. One engagement after another, and another storm hits the bio forces of Marine King. The storm micro is just so amazing. Those 2 players are incredible. One fight after another, back to back.
This has just been such a close game. Now the research, cloak research for the Ghost is coming out. He needs that. He needs to be able to get those clutch EMPs when it matters. Marine King's units are so low on hit points, he needs to retreat for a little while and heal them up, but looks like Parting may be getting ready for another attack. And something to note about Marine King here is he's not made any planetaries. He's only made orbitals, so it's going to be very easy to snipe these bases and get out with the extremely mobile, powerful armor that we have for Parting right now.
We have 4 bases against 4 bases, 80 Harvesters against 73. They're nearly matched in the worker count, and still Marine King with a little bit of an advantage thanks to his mules. He already has a bank of 1,000 minerals and a ton of gas as well. But in regards to the overall supply, they are both dead even. They're on 160, but we now have extended thermal lands halfway down, and as soon as Colossi are part of the picture, it's going to be really difficult for Marine King. He needs a lot of Vikings. He doesn't have them just now, but the next engagement is not far away as Marine King has to defend against this attack. And the storms! Beautiful storms!
Good storms, but good dodging by Marine King. Great splits there, a great concave, and now he's chasing Parting's army back, getting some of those stalkers. This game is so close right now, Caldor. The supply 157 to 142. Marine King taking the lead. You're so right. His storm micro is so good, but Marine King can anticipate those storms and move out of the way before it even happens.
And the incredible thing is that he just tried to sneak those 2 High Templars past the army so that they weren't detected, but he still was able to dodge the storms, or at least not take too much damage. This game is just incredible. Both of them, they are basically like boxers in a ring and trying to punch each other out. It is just amazing to see how many fights we have here, one after another. They're trying to take an advantage, and this is just really amazing.
That's a great analogy. I like that boxer analogy. At this point, Marine King wants to stim and run in. A great storm dodge. Again, just sending a small group of Marines to target down Templar. There's so many cannons here, though, and the Zealots are here. I'm not sure if Marine King can engage this. He may have made a mistake.
He doesn't have any Vikings to deal with the Colossi here, and he's losing a ton of his Marines. as a result, but he's still ahead.
His splitting is unbelievable. He runs through the storms, and now he's closing the distance on the Colossi. He does have to retreat, though. With that many cannons there and the firepower of the Colossi, he needs to go home and heal up his units.
It's like his Marines have double the amount of hit points.
I know, right? It's crazy. He's had so much production, but he can't spend all of his money because he has so many bases here as well. He's 20 supply up right now. His +2 ship weapons are on the way. He's starting to add a few more Vikings in the mix and adding as many Marauders as he can because he knows that the Colossi are really the threat for him right now.
It's really an amazing game, and Marine King is pulling ahead, and farther ahead. He's on 177 supply. He has 1,500 minerals. He has the gas, and Parting is on 150 and slowly but steadily running out of money. Marine King with all these engagements, he done such a beautiful job. The storms once again more than beautiful, but will it be enough as Marine King splits his army and tries to sandwich the entire force of Parting, taking down the Colossi as well.
He is called the King of Marines for a reason, Caldor. Look at the splitting. And you know, he's actually just throwing away one army after another cost efficiently. What you're saying is exactly right. Marine King has 2,500 minerals, but Parting does not have enough money to continue production. Look at the production tab. When the production tab comes up, look at what you see. You see everything. It's so wide for Marine King. Look at that. He just has so much production constantly, has so much money. Parting does not have the money, so Marine King is just trading again and again, and eventually Parting will starve out here. Marine King is just unstoppable right now.
We have 3 starports building right now. And I just can't say how impressed I am by the game, by the performance of those two players. Once again, the storms by Parting. It's just so amazing. He doesn't miss a single one of them. But Marine King is always able to dodge. He's always able to just react in time. He's just so damn fast.
He is so fast. You know, his units always escape at the last second with those red hit points. He doesn't lose them. He keeps them alive. He targets down Templars with small groups of units, but Parting is always on top of those storms. It looks like Parting is going to move forward to engage here. This could be trouble, though, because Marine King already has a great concave.
Storms everywhere, charging Zealots, trying to hunt down the Marauders. And we still have one Colossi trying to take down the Marines. And now Marine King has to go back. He has to retreat once again. And Parting takes the supply lead here.
He takes a huge supply lead, 153 to 132. But Marine King with so many units is trying to close the distance on this Colossus. Nice micro by Parting, though, pulling the Colossus back.
The Colossus dies 130 supply against 120. Who will take this game? Parting takes down the next few units of his opponent. The Warp Prism is headed into the main base.
Oh, he's going to be able to set up a flank. Oh, no! Oh, my God! Let's hope this doesn't last. Parting now has a setup with the Warp Prism. The Warp Prism can warp in units to flank these Marines.
Oh, my God. I can't believe what's happening here right now.
I'm actually about to have a heart attack, Caldor. This is really stressful.
Oh God, we have 150 supply for Parting, 110 for Marine King, and the Prime player is now dropping out.
Let's hope he doesn't actually drop out. I think we'll be able to save him. We have the Gom Wizard on our side. Right now, we have, of course, the crowd is cheering. I think they're saying they want the game to come back, Caldor.
Something like this.
Something like that. Well, the supply, like you said, 150 to 110 for our StarTale player. Marine King looking like he is on the back foot, especially with that Warp Prism set up for a flank. Who knows what will happen next, though?
Yeah, Parting was definitely, he was in a position where it was really, really hard for him to hold the attacks of Marine King, but he pushed back, and then he was able to turn the tide completely, pressed Marine King back into his bases, and he already was able to push him down in supply. He's now at 110 to 150, and this is just so bad for Marine King at this point. And obviously, this couldn't have come to any point worse.
No, I actually completely agree. You know, basically, right now in the chat, I can see the Koreans talking. He's basically asking them to wait a little bit longer, trying to figure out the problem. This is really stressful, of course, for everyone involved. With the backstage here, we have so many people trying to figure this issue out, and I think it'll be resolved very soon. I don't think we're going to have a regame. In most cases, when this happens, they are able to fix the computer and that we don't have to have a regame, but every now and then this does happen. And the question is, does Parting have enough units here to where a regame is necessary, or has he won this game? That's something that I don't think anyone would be able to call. This is such an important match, not only for the point for parting, but for Marine King. If Marine King is out here, he's such an important player for the team. So this is such a crazy situation that we're dealing with here, Kaldor.
The thing is, Marine King at this point has only 3 Marauders left. We have 18 Zealots, we have 6 Stalkers, and still 8 High Templars and the War Prism, and only 3 Marauders and 6 Vikings.
Yeah.
So Marine King in a really, really bad position here, and
it's going to be hard for him to come back. I'm not sure if he could do it. He's got 5 Marauders, 3 Marines, 2 Vikings about to pop out, but is that enough?
and
well,
the game is
well, it looks
over.
like we just had our drop here, so we're going to have a referee decision. This is actually one of the most stressful situations I have actually had to be in as a caster in my entire life. Whoa. Well, everyone remain calm. No matter what happens, the show will go on. I don't know what the choice will be here.
Yeah,
I would hate to be the judge of this, man. I'm so glad I'm not.
This is the GSTL finals, and a referee decision in one of the games is definitely something that you usually don't want to happen. But for StarTale, I think, well, StarTale is definitely, they will definitely want to win here.
Yeah, of course. You know, this is an important match for Prime. You know, Prime is not going to let this one go easily, though, because not only is the point important for them because they're behind right now, but to lose Marine King, who they used in this very specific scenario on a very specific map, is something that sets their entire team strategy behind. So this is not just like one game and a best of 3 to these guys. This is one of the most pivotal moments in this entire series right now, and the decision for the judge to make it is almost impossible. I would hate to be in his shoes.
It's also very hard for Parting, obviously, now, because he played so well. He was in such a huge lead when the game suddenly stopped, and this is just a horrible situation.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be the guy who says, look, I was going to win the game, even though it wasn't over. It's hard to say any number of things could have happened. Marine King had such a great amount of production, but you're right. There were so many units out for Parting. It looked like he had enough of an advantage to where you might want to rule the game in his favor, but it's such a tough decision to call. I'm actually so stressed out right now.
I actually think it's the only decision that you can make.
I think so. I mean, I don't want to be the one to make that call, but
Me neither.
we're going to get an update as soon as we find out what the result is going to be. There's so many people running back and forth here. The judges are trying to make this decision. There's coaches. So many people running back in here talking in loud Korean, trying to figure this out, and it's just going to be a few more moments until we know what the verdict is going to be.
Yeah, but this is definitely a situation that should not happen, especially during the GSTL finals. This is kind of a, well,
this very rarely ever happens, but for it to happen here is crazy.
It happens a little bit too often, but right now the main problem is that we would need a decision, and the players are just discussing. The coaches obviously are involved in the decision as well. It's not going to be a pleasant one. One of the teams will be really, really disappointed. I mean, for the fans, it would obviously be great to have a regame, but I don't think it would be really fair for the StarTale team. I think that they really want to win here, because the situation at the end of the game was just so highly in favor of Parting.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Now, I do see in my friends list that the referee is watching a replay, quote unquote, so I'm sure the replay is being reviewed right now. I'm sure they're looking at exactly what the stats were at the end of the game. You know, a lot of our referees over here are former Brood War players, StarCraft 2 pro gamers, and they're just very knowledgeable. So the decision that they're going to make is going to be very professional, very intelligent. And this is a really stressful situation for everyone, but I'm sure the decision that we made will be final, and I'm sure it'll be an intelligent one, a smart one.
Yeah, it definitely has to be. But I really appreciate that they take the time, because in this situation you definitely have to make sure that you don't just make a snap decision based on the first few information. So watching the replay and checking the situation in the end definitely makes the most sense. And then we'll see what's going to happen, if we are going to have a regame or if the series is going to be 3-1 in favor of StarTale.
Yeah, it's really tough to say. I think we'll likely have the StarTale win it. I'm sorry, Dustin Browder, I can't help but laugh to that sign that I just saw, but by the way, thanks Mike Morhaime and Dustin Browder for coming out here today. Give them an applause. 2 great Blizzard employees coming here today. Still no verdict just yet on what's happening. The replay is still being reviewed according to my friends list here, so I don't know what's going to happen. But there are a lot of people that's listening to this, like a lot of people. You guys can't even see how many people are back here. There's like an entire army discussing this decision. This is Something we're going to find out the answer very soon here.
Yeah, at least hopefully.
I feel like I'm waiting and just waiting and waiting. I can't imagine how you guys feel.
Let's just assume for a second that the game will be ruled in favor of partying, just in order to... What kind of player do you think is going to be sent out for Prime?
I think they might have to use Creator here. You know, his PvP is so good that he might be the one to use here. His PvP recently has been kind of off the charts. You don't want to use Creator unless you're playing against a Terran, but to use Creator here in a PvP might be the only way to beat partying right now.
The last time that the two faced each other, they didn't really need Marine King, because Marine King, as mentioned earlier, he lost to Curious in one of the first games, and then the rest of the Prime team stepped up in order to make the win possible. So we might see Creator. Creator played really, really strong when he played in the last few days here at the IPL, and this would definitely be a really good choice.
Yeah, I would, if I were Gerard right now, I might pick Creator, but you know, there are some other choices, of course.
Ghost King?
Yeah, Ghost King, man. Ghost King is a great choice. He is on fire right now, but I would want to use him, I think, for a Zerg. It's hard to say who I would choose. It's a tough decision, but I think definitely either Creator or Ghost King here, because they have two players left, and you know they can interchange those. They have different orders they can use.
And it's always the question if you really want to set another Terran player against Party.
Yeah, that is a tough choice.
Just really, really great in this matchup, and he already played 2 matches against Terran right now, so he's kind of already in the mindset, in the zone that he needs in order to pull this off. So it's something that I would not really want to do.
Now, if the game is redone, do you think the players will do the same type of strategies? Do you think, for example, Parting might try to do something completely different? I don't think we're going to have a regame, but we might. And in this case, what might Marine King do differently? You know, why was Marine King starting to lose this game? I feel like he overextended himself just a little bit. And in TVP, even if you have a ton of production as a Terran player, if the Protoss gets out of control with his army, things just spiral out of control so quickly.
I think one of the problems that he definitely had is that there was too much area effect damage in the later stages of the game.
Yeah.
And Parting was just able to hit all these storms over and over again. And especially his High Templar control, where he split his army, he had 2 High Templars to the side, the rest with his main army, was able to just sneak a few of them in without Marine King noticing them. And Marine King reacted in time over and over again and pulled them out of the storms, but still they took some damage,
yeah.
And that just accumulated over time.
He did a great job of pulling a small group of Marauders and Marines to try to target down the individual Templar. He split his army as well as he could have, but one of the problems I feel like was he just didn't have enough Vikings. The Colossi were his really big problem. The Storms were good, but he dodged those for the most part. He targeted down the Templar, but he did not have enough Vikings, and that was kind of one of the problems that he faced. That's why he was adding 3 starports right before he died.
He did kind of miss the transition. He missed the transition of his opponent for the Colossi, as you already mentioned, and therefore he was suddenly faced with not only the Storms, but also the Colossi, all these Zealots that were highly upgraded, did a ton of damage to the Marauders as well, just chased them down with a charge upgrade, and he was really, really hard pressed, and at some point just ended up in his main base. And we just got the information that apparently it was an internet connection problem, and not a computer problem.
No ruling made just yet, but that's, of course, we just got an update that, of course, it was not the computer, but it was rather an internet connection problem. So it wasn't any problems with any of the equipment that this player was using. It was, in fact, an internet connection problem.
We finally have a Wolf Kaldor sign.
Where's the... Oh, wow. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure casting you, Kaldor, through this entire season of GSTL. I can't wait to conclude this cast. I guess we're going to find out. Check out these signs for the Swarm, I Heart Blizzard. There was a sign that said 2. I guess that's a Marine King sign.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm a little bit sorry about is that I'm kind of handicapped because I was sick the entire time and my voice is half gone.
Yep. Well, we have the replay up and loaded on Legend's computer. We may very well put that up on screen. I'm not 100% sure.
A 26-minute game in total.
Yep, indeed. And we're going to have some more stats to look at here in just a moment. But again, it was an internet connection problem, not any of the problems of Marine King's computer equipment. It didn't cause a crash or anything like that. It was just simply an internet connection problem. So that's all the information we have right now, but still no ruling. And I think that maybe while we're loading up this replay right now to take a look at it, we can even add our insights into this game.
And for me, losing this game is actually really a big deal. I mean, in the individual leagues, he does so well. He won MLG, he is performing at IPL and is winning every single game. We mentioned that he just has a win streak of roughly 15 to 16 games, something along those lines. And now that he's playing for his team and playing in the team league, he suddenly loses his match. This would actually be so horrible for him. It would be like a little bit like failing his team. This is definitely something that plays a huge role in his mind, in my opinion.
And I don't even think it was because he choked. I think it was because Parting played so well. This is one of the most back and forth games I've ever cast. With the storms being dodged before they're even cast.
One fight after another, back to back the entire time, and it was just so great to watch. And it was just amazing. Both players just playing on top of their game. And exactly the epic match that we hoped for when we heard that Parting is going to face Marine King, but not quite the ending that we anticipated.
Well, we're getting closer to the end of this replay here on the screen. It's about 16.5 minutes out of 26. It's going at ×8. We're going to give you guys some more information on the units that are left at the end of the game as soon as we get to the end of that replay. I mean, you guys remember we kind of listed off some of them for you. He had very few units out. He had a lot of production, but the Zealots were barreling down his front. He likely would not have been able to survive. He would have had to relocate his production somewhere else. He had a lot of money banked up, but that strong Protoss army just was so big that I don't think Marine King would have ever had the ability to remake his production facilities.
I think at the end of the game he actually didn't have all that much money left anymore, so that's another problem that he had. I don't know about his income though. He had a ton of bases still left.
Yeah, he really did.
So he was on 5 bases if I'm not mistaken, as was his opponent, and therefore he still had a lot of income, but I just don't know how much, and if he had energy left on the orbitals in order to call down all these mules, which would have helped a lot, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're getting really close to the end of this replay now. I want to take a look at the unit numbers for you guys because it's, of course, so important, as you guys right now cannot look at it yourselves. So, all right, we're seeing the storms going off here, the final battle, Parting taking it out pretty easily, as you guys saw. Medevac's going down, Marine King just not having any answer for the Colossi. He's microing at his best. And
he's losing everything here just now. The only thing left are now a few Marauders, and he's losing basically all of them. Still a huge lead for Parting.
Parting with 14 Zealots out, a bunch of Stalkers, 4 High Templar, and a Warp Prism, and the replay stops. So we have out on the map 5 Vikings, 5 Marauders, and 2 Marines versus 13 Zealots.
It actually goes a little bit longer.
Oh yeah, I guess about 30 more seconds.
He had only 3 Marauders left at the end. That was the only thing he had.
He's got so much production here, but the problem is the Parting army is so strong that you can just kill the units as they spawn. Essentially, it just doesn't matter.
If you just look at it, we just saw the barracks and how many units he actually had queued up. It wasn't too many. I think 1 not even in each barracks.
Yeah, I'd like to say that again. He had something like 15 barracks out, and a lot of them with tech labs, but most of them with reactors by the looks of things.
This is really going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely Parting is in favor here, but is it enough to call this game? That is the question. This happens so rarely, man. I'm actually not sure what's going to happen. Crowd's getting pretty impatient. I don't blame them. I want to know. I want to know just as much as you guys do what the verdict is.
Yeah. So right now, well, we can actually just. Maybe no.
Well, let's talk about Twitter for a second. Remember, guys, get on Twitter. #GSTL. I heard someone in the crowd suggest this. You know, it's actually a good idea. Go on Twitter. #GSTL. Follow GOMTV. You can follow myself at ProxyWolf. You can follow Caldor at Caldor. You can even follow IGN Pro League, and you can follow @StarCraft to get Blizzard updates about StarCraft. And I definitely recommend doing all of those things, especially, I know all of you guys have smartphones. Why don't you pull it out and do it right now? I'm sure most of you probably already
It's not like we have a little bit of time to kill.
Yeah, we have quite a little bit of time here.
And yeah, well, Legend is still watching the replay. Don't know exactly what's going to happen right now.
Someone said fix your tie, like looked at the previous year. I'm like, well, I don't know, it's like a little bit to the side. I think I actually forgot we're on camera. I'm just looking at this replay only.
So the most important thing to ask right now is, oh, actually, do we have an update?
I heard something. I heard a noise. We're actually going to go to a 5-minute break, guys, so the suspense will continue. We'll see you in 5. Welcome back to the GSTL. Las Vegas. We are in our finals, and Kaldor, why don't you tell us what the verdict is?
We have news of what's going to happen, and I have sad news for you guys. You have to stay a little bit longer today because we have a regame.
We are going to have a regame on the very same map. Let's see how this game could potentially go differently.
We have another match between Marine King and Parting once again on Entombed Valley. Actually, a really awesome decision, and I'm definitely sure that the StarTale team gave their okay in this. This was a little bit unexpected, but I'm really glad that they made it happen. So we have a regame of the match, and I hope it's going to be as good as the first one.
Yeah, I hope so as well. You can see our StarTale players getting together in a huddle here, accepting the decision, and obviously, you know, it's a tough decision to accept, but you can see the coach basically telling his players, you know what, guys, it sucks, but we got a regame here. We have to have faith in Parting. He's done it once, he can do it again.
Right now, a bit of discussion still going in here, but this is going to be very interesting. As you mentioned earlier before, what exactly are we going to see right now on the map, on Entombed Valley? What are they going for?
Marine King could do a completely different build. He could go Cloak Banshees. He could do one of his newer tank builds that he's been doing. He showed his hand here. He's done the same build he's been doing in IPL. He's been doing this build so much over the past few weeks where he gets a fast +1, just a few Mirages with his first 2 medevacs, pushes out and attacks the Protoss. No matter what build the Protoss is doing, he moves out and attacks. Now, he's been showing that build a lot. Will he change things up here and do a siege tank type build? It's entirely possible.
I think it will also depend on the position that we have. Last time we had a cross-map game, so this time if we have some kind of close position, then we might just see some kind of Banshee player, as you already said. It's certainly something that is favored in those positions and might well be what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's a very strong possibility. I can't wait to see what we're going to have. So remember, for those of you guys who may just be tuning in right now, this is the GSTL Finals. We had a regame due to an internet connection problem drop. The regame is going to be on the same map. It's going to be on Entombed Valley. So let's talk about this a little bit. Entombed Valley is a map that a lot of Protoss players like against Terran, and especially against Zerg. It was an interesting choice by Marine King. It kind of leads me to believe they want to use a Zerg later because they want to get this map out of the way so Protoss can't use it. That's kind of strange considering that, you know, the only Zerg they really have left to use is Anyang at this point, who hasn't really made very many individual league performances or team league appearances.
Yeah, but the thought process is really kind of valid because Entombed Valley is a very good map for Protoss against Zerg. It's just horrible as a Zerg player to play here. And in Team League, obviously, it's very important not only to think about the next match at hand, but also about the rest of the players that you have to beat in order to take the entire match. So definitely something that they have to keep in mind, and this might be one of the reasons why Marine King chose this map.
Yeah, that's a very good point. He may just feel comfortable here. I mean, his play on the map last game was just absolutely great. He looked really strong. His storm dodges were great. His opening was good. And you know, this type of opening actually works quite well on a map with a secondary ramp, because if your opponent goes Zealot heavy, even if he drops Force Shields, the Force Shields end up working against the units on the ramp. You can use your Marines on the low ground to damage the Zealots on the high ground. And we saw that come into play in that last game.
And the one thing that I have to say with Marine King in the force fields, what really impressed me is how he was always kind of able to dodge them. It's like he's playing some kind of Bruce Lee style and always is like water and flowing around the force fields. He always finds a gap where he can save his Marines and can just make sure that all these Zealots that are trying to get into position are not killing him. And suddenly, as you mentioned, suddenly they work in favor of the Terran player. It's just so incredible how Marine King is able to do this over and over again. But Partying, in the late game, he just looks kind of unbeatable.
He looks unbeatable. He's just got this huge stream of Zealots. His storms never miss. They only miss unless Marine King just isn't there. And to be honest, the splitting that we've seen from Marine King is actually just superhuman. When I watch this battle about to start, my mind says, well, Marine King just can't win this fight. There's no way. I don't care how good his splitting is. Then I watch it. Have you guys seen the Automaton 2000 video? Have you guys seen that? I mean, that's like what I'm seeing.
Marine King trains, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Marine King is like Automaton 2000 with how he's splitting these units. He splits them before the storm even occurs. It's as if he knows how Parting can click. He like freezes time. He looks at Parting's screen. He sees the click that he's about to make for the storm cast. Then he moves his units around it. It's absolutely insane.
I can't wait for the match to begin again because I have to seriously tell you that I'm so impressed by Parting's performance, especially since he popped up from his Code A qualifier. And it just shows that there are so many Koreans out there that didn't even make a splash yet in the foreign scene, and not even in Korea just yet, that are so good, but it's just so hard to get into Code A. The Code A qualifier is one of the, well, it's one of the tournaments with the best players in the entire world, and just to get this shot at the Code A is so hard, and suddenly we have players like Slayers Brown coming up who advanced to go to S, like Maru, like Parting, and they are performing so well right now today, and this is actually really, really impressive, and this is something that always gets me going as well, because it's not only about Parting as a player, but about how he develops.
Yeah, that's entirely true. No, I just got an update. I didn't even know this, but if you guys go to where the registration desk is, you can buy GSL t-shirts. That's pretty cool. So just wanted to point that out for anyone here in the venue, anyone maybe watching in the hotel. You can go to the registration desk and buy GOMTV t-shirts. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
And you should definitely also go to gomtv.net, check it out, and have a look at it. There's just content all the time, and we have the GSL Code S, we have Code A, and obviously also the Team League, the GSTL, so definitely check it out, especially if you are new to the format. And we still have a little bit of a discussion going on at the StarTale bench.
Yeah, the StarTale guys seem to be doing a lot of discussion. The press is going crazy over there as well. I really feel like, I talked to you about this during our short break. I said, tonight's match is really going to go down in history no matter what happens as kind of a match of, these controversial decisions that get made, regame or no regame, always will be discussed for years to come. So it's kind of cool that everyone here in this room could say, you know what, I was there when Marine King disconnected.
Do you know what something is that bothers me the whole time already?
What's that?
The next time I go to Las Vegas or go to the US, I will definitely make sure to take some moisturizer with me because my lips are killing me.
My lips are a little bit chapped too.
It's so
weird. It's so much drier here.
I was actually warned, but the air here is just so much drier and it's killing me.
Well, don't worry. I'll help you to get through this, Caldor. You and I will escape the dryness.
You were the first one who said I want to go back to Korea.
Yeah, man. Well, it's fine. It's true. I want to go back to Korea, but I'm having so much fun here in Las Vegas with you guys, and Marine King looks like he is ready in his booth, and as far as I can tell, our StarTale player is in the lobby as well. So we're going to be coming in pretty soon to the next game. I can't wait. Like we said, we may see a completely different style from Marine King. He may go for mech play. He may do that 4 siege tank expand where he just adds those 4 tanks. This is a great map for that because there's 2 secondary ramps, not only the one at your natural, but the one at the third base as well. And Parting could do something crazy. I mean, he's going to be probably a little bit on tilt after this happened. He didn't look to be a little bit frustrated when I saw him, backstage and things like that. He looked perfectly fine. I don't think he's that frustrated. And there's 2 ways to approach the situation. You can have frustration like, hey, I just won that game and now I have to play it again. Or you can have this feeling of, I beat him once, I should be able to do it again, right?
Definitely one of the reactions that he could go for right now. And I think we are ready to go as Marine King just entered the lobby.
Indeed he did. And we're just having basically some discussion by the admins in the chat about the headset. We're going to get the players to put their headsets on and get ready, making sure all their settings are correct. And we're going to be starting very, very soon here. Sorry for the delays, guys. I mean, I know you guys are upset, but I'm upset too. I want to get into this game. That last game was so amazing. I can't wait to see the next one.
Yeah, definitely, and I hope it's as good as the first one was. Ladies and gentlemen, are you excited about Marine King against Parting?
They should be, man.
And so are we, so let's hope that it's going to start soon. The players are in the lobby getting ready. And well, this is going to be great. We had the same situation already once, and now we have it another time. And I really hope this game is going to be a copy of the first one.
Yeah, I mean, if we have the identical builds from these 2 players, it's going to be really interesting because there are a few mistakes both players made. The engagement with Marine King's first attack, Parting got behind because he didn't micro his force shields. He used too many of them. They worked against him. He's probably going to keep that in mind if the same attack happens again. Marine King is going to manage his Viking count a lot better. He's not going to follow those Colossi. His splits are going to be just as good as before, perhaps even better. The control of the storms, the positioning of the High Templar might be better. We're going to be a little bit more scouting perhaps for Parting. You might find out the Marine King's 4th base is up a little bit faster than he expected. I just can't wait to see either a new build or refinements of the builds we just saw.
We might also just see some kind of a little bit of a cheesier build because in this situation there could be the point where just, for example, Marine King says, yeah, he's not going to expect this.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. I mean, on this 4-player map, we can't really have anything like a 2-gate proxy. We could have a proxy Stargate, though. We could have Void Ray play. We could have a 4-gate. All of these builds are options. Marine King could go for a Command Center first. Parting could go for a Nexus first. Anything is possible.
You can just pull off a lot of stuff. We already talked about that a close position also. Banshee play is something that is really, really valid. And we've seen a lot of players who are able to pull this off. And the game between Nada against Creator, for example, comes also to mind in the GSL, where we had a really beautiful drop play by Nada, just hitting a perfect timing on 2 bases and just dropping right into the natural of his opponent, just completely take him out, dodging the force fields, and therefore able to attack the army head on. So that was really, really well done. And with a decent time, this is definitely something you can do when your opponent is not prepared and doesn't have enough units. It's relying too much on sentries.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And this is the best kind of map for that. Like I mentioned earlier, the one with the secondary ramp where you can kind of elevator really easily over the top and the bottom of the ramp, escape. Your opponent has to walk around the ramp in order to engage with the Zealots. The sentry range is so low, it's very difficult to use force shields because you're using the dropships primarily. I think we're going to be jumping into the game very soon here, though. I'm looking at the chat, reading the Korean. And basically, he's still setting up in his booth. He's just getting ready. He's going to be ready very soon. But anyways, again, we've actually talked to death about this, but this map is great for Protoss against Terran. But at the same time, Marine King looks so strong here. I don't know what just happened, but there was a noise over in the corner of this room. I don't know what it was. You know, Kaldor, I have to say, you and I buy time together quite well. I feel like when we have these types of situations, we know just how to deal with it. We can actually just talk about anything forever. Kaldor, I think it's time.
Talking bullshit.
Kaldor, I think it's time for me to ask you a really important question.
That sounds like you're going to put me on the spot.
I am, man. I'm going to put you on the spot. Which pro gamer's hairstyle is your favorite?
That's a really, really tough decision. But I think right now I would probably say that Marine King is right on top of the list.
All right, well, that's a good choice. It looks like Marine King is finally ready. We're going to start the game. The countdown is done. The map is loading. Sorry for the wait, guys. We're jumping into the game right now here at the GSTL Finals in Las Vegas.
Here we go, the game started again, and even though I feel like having a slight deja vu here to the bottom left of the map, we have once again the Protoss player for the StarTale team in the red. Starts our Protoss player, StarTale.
StarTale, putting!
The StarTale bench is cheering. They really want him to win this match, and he is eager to do so. His opponent, once again, to the top right of the map, in the blue color. The King of Marines, the prime player in the blue color. It is
Marine King, prime!
A huge fan favorite right now, with on a 15-game winning streak, almost broken, but not quite. Even the internet was out to get him in that one, but he managed to stick with it. Now we have a very fast scout from Parting here, going to scout the top left. Marine King, the question is, will he take gas? Will he go for the same build he did last game? Right now, he hasn't taken any gas yet. It looks like he is going to once again go for a 1 barracks expand.
The one question that I really have is what exactly is going to happen if Parting should win this game. I have the feeling that Ace would just jump up on the stage, run into the booth, and drag him out, carry him on his shoulders around.
That would be something that I would love to see. I'm a little bit speechless.
It's actually a little bit sad that we didn't see any celebrations by Ace today. I was really looking forward to another Hulk move once again.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking at Ace right now. I bet he's going to do something. I bet he's got something planned.
Yeah, there should be something later on, definitely. Scouting's going off. We have cross positions once again, and the probe just headed into the main base, trying to dodge the Marines, only having a quick look at the natural, sees the expansion, so he knows exactly what's going to happen here. We have 1 barracks expand, nothing unusual in the corner of Marine King.
And so far, no second gas yet from Parting, so it looks like he's going to be doing the identical build as well, going to make a Nexus. The question is, will he skip a Stalker? He started it and cancels it. Looks like he is going to be going for the Nexus before Stalker, a great choice considering the build he's seen from Marine King.
And there it is, throwing down the Nexus. At the same time, we already have the Warp Gate technology starting. And I really hope, well, so far it looks like we are having a macro game once again. There's no cheese going on, and I'm really looking forward to this. This could just evolve into exactly the same type of game that we've seen in the first run.
Yeah, it absolutely could. I mean, we're seeing quite literally the exact same thing from Marine King here, adding the 2 additional barracks, getting the 2 additional refineries. He's building up to just what he did the game before. Now, Parting is going to take his second gas here. Now, will he go for a fast robotics for scouting like he did last game, or is he going to try to do some sort of heavy gateway pressure to attack Marine King's early expansion early on?
I think that we're going to see an early robotics once again. This is actually what I would expect by Parting, because he is just so known for his robotic style, and you need the observer in order to know what exactly is happening, especially against someone like Marine King, who can just use all those kinds of strategies in a different variety of attacks. So I expect that we will see another robotics very soon. And now we have the tech lab for Marine King already in his main base, and a very early engineering bay this time.
Yeah, he loves to get that early engineering bay with this build. He always, he's done this time and time again. He's practiced. Oh, is this time? Will history repeat itself, or will the SCV escape this time?
Uh-oh!
Oh my god! Talk about history repeating itself. These two players are so Korean in their training. They practice this build 100 times. The same exact scenario happens. Yeah, we have flipped position rankings at the top right instead of the top left, Partings at the bottom left. We saw the exact same thing happen last game. Ranking is getting stim. He's getting +1. There's the robotics facility. We are having a repeat game. Talk about a regame. This is actually so cool. I wonder how things are going to vary this time.
This is so funny, especially with all those Marines just saving them. Now we have the +1 attack upgrade right now. There's the robotics coming up, and the factory for Marine King. His Marine count is getting higher and higher and higher. We have it at 10 right now, 35 probes against 29 SCVs at this point.
Yeah, and right now with what we're seeing here, the only difference for right now is that Marine King has made his factory at his natural, which means when he makes his reactor, his starport will rally those medevacs out a little bit faster. That's one thing it looks like he's tried to do to modify his build here. Otherwise, like you said, it's literally the same build he did last time. Now, what is Parting going to do here? His forge is up, his robotics is up, he started his observer now. He's going to scout. This time, will he alter his build by trying to take a fast third? Will he try to catch Marine King out in the middle of the map so he doesn't have to engage at that ramp? What's he going to do?
He's going for the Twilight Council once again, so it looks like this time we are having once more the Templar archive for him. So Storm Tech is going on, or will go on very, very soon, and I love it. This is exactly the style that Parting just showed us against Terrans over and over and over again. There was a time when Protoss just used to go straight for Colossi, and Parting was kind of one of the first players who actually dared to just get the robotics in order to be safe against incoming Banshee play, but then transitioned immediately into the Templar style that we see him perform right now. And this is just so impressive, and he is so good with his control that he can just pull it off.
Again, for Parting, we see the Templar archives on 2 bases. Last time we saw him get a few Templar, get the Archon out. He feedbacked some of the medevacs when the attack hit, so that it allowed him to attack without any healing on his opponent. Will he try to get Faster Storm this time? How many Templar will he make? The Observer this time will escape. Last time Marine King caught it at once, but this time the Observer does get by.
Yeah, nice job here by Parting, and Marine King was not able to kill the Observer off. Very good job. So this time we have a little bit of scouting information for Parting actually, and he sees what's coming. He knows about all these Marines, that another Observer doesn't get picked off, but will he be ready for this? We don't have Storm once again. The Archon is part of his defense. +1 attack upgrade is being researched. He's on +1 armor so far. And here comes Marine King's army with the sentries for the force fields, and another round of warp-ins will be available as well.
He's doing quite literally the same push as last time with the 1 Marauder in the mix, the Marines and the medevacs. This time he's got the Archon to defend. He may try to feedback once more. Looks like he's going to do a drop. He's actually not going to engage directly like he did last time. He's going to try to circumvent this army, but as smart as Parting is, he knows this is likely to be the case. He's warping in Stalkers now to defend.
And once again, he has the Observer in position. It gets scanned and scouted, but at the same time, we have already a few Stalkers in the main base.
Marine King does not hesitate. He runs up. He targets down a sentry. The Zealots getting pulled back here. And
he misses the force fields, and the sentries are gone. The Stalkers go down, but at this time, we have the Archons just saving the day in the main
Marine
base.
King is dropped in the main.
Active, and here come the Stalkers trying to take them down. They're able to do it, but oh my god, Parting is hard-pressed here.
Yeah, Parting has only +1 armor right now. Marine King with +1 weapons. He's going to target down the Archon. The Archon is falling. And Marine King trading so well right now. The supply 91 to 73. Similar to last game, Marine King taking an early lead with his 2 medevac +1 timing attack.
He's playing this so well right now. He's already 20 supply ahead. Parting with a little bit of a misstep with the force fields early on. And then suddenly Marine King sees his chance and tries to capitalize on it. And Parting is now finally able to at least throw him back a little bit, but here comes Marine King once again trying to take down few of these Stalkers, and the reinforcements are just streaming across the map while Marine King takes the third base.
Yeah, the armory is on the way as well, so we can continue those upgrades. There are observers on the map to spot how many reinforcements are coming. There's an observer in the main to spot the timing on that armory. More barracks being added here, and I know I've said it 1,000 times, but we are having such the repeat game here. More gateways being added now. He does not have storm research just yet. He's killing the rocks. He's preparing to take a third, but Marine King does have that early third just as before, and there's not a lot of time, or there's not a lot of ways for our StarTale player to move out and pressure that because he lost so many of his units.
And Marine King has now such a great lead in economy. He's not only ahead in harvesters, but at the same time, he has the third right now, is saturating it. And the income that you just saw will in a few seconds just increase dramatically for Marine King, because the one thing that was not taken into account was that he just slid a few of his SCVs over to the third base, so they were not mining at the time. And therefore, the income of Marine King should by now be so much higher than Parting's. He's already on 127 supply against 100. More observers scattered across the map everywhere in order to just see the draw play, while now Parting tries desperately to take a third on his own and pauses the game here.
We do have a pause from Parting. Now, I wonder what this is going to be about. Hopefully we don't have any
game.
Let's hope not. Let's hope this is just a quick pause, maybe some sort of keyboard malfunction or frame drops or something like that. I mean,
the universe has something against this series to be completed, I guess.
I feel like we're like in a Final Destination movie. We've gone back in time. We're watching the same game unfold a second time, but this time a few things have changed. We're like in a parallel universe right now from the one we were in about 20 to 30 minutes ago. No! I guess not. All right, +2/2 upgrades are on the way for Marine King as +2 armor is finishing up for Parting here. The third next is on the way. We said again, the third base for Marine King has been up much longer. Marine King's getting a faster +1 ship weapons in this game compared to the last one. That means his Vikings. If he can keep them alive, we'll be able to take the Colossi out faster, but we don't have Colossi just yet.
He's ready, just typed ready to go, sir, and therefore I think the game will resume in just a few seconds. Marine King seems to be ready to go as well. A quick countdown, and then we should start with the game once again.
The Korean observer says that he is ready as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to get back into the game.
Yep, we just need a second until the chat is gone, and then... Nope, there we are.
Storm is on the way for Parting now. He just began it. And
the thing with Storm for Parting is, sorry to cut you off there, but it feels like always as soon as he has the Storm, it's like suddenly you have a knife fight and one of the guys just draws a gun.
Yeah, that's basically what it has.
That is his weapon of choice, and as soon as he has the Storm, Parting becomes so much more dangerous.
He really does. It's basically like his trademark weapon, you're right. And with this weapon, he looks so deadly, but you know how magnets of opposite ends of magnets attract? If you have the same kind of magnets, they repel. I feel like when a storm gets dropped down, Marine King's units repel the storm. They just all disappear, they go in opposite directions. It's crazy. Right now, the army supply is 91 for Marine King versus 77 of Parting. Marine King has a very large army he's moving out with right now. Storm is not quite ready, but Marine King looks like he wants to attack, just like before. Last time he had Storm, he had to retreat. We'll see if he can defend this time.
Look at those medivacs. How many medivacs does he actually have? 10 medivacs once again. We have 18 Marauders, 33 Marines for him, and 69 SCVs against 61 probes. And here comes Marine King trying to go up that ramp. Once again, the High Templars arriving from the side.
They're gonna flank! Oh! Nice storms, but Marine King does escape them. Another storm is dodged by Marine King. It is really a great storm.
But we don't have, he's charging in once again, another storm hits a lot of those zealots as well, though he retreats, but Marine King is down in the red and orange with most of his army, has to retreat here, and Parting really doing a very good job breaking this attack before it even happens.
Yeah, basically the deficit in army supply has been lessened a little bit by that attack with Parting. How well his storms went for him. 3-3 upgrades are on the way for Marine King as +2 is started for Parting here, so Marine King may take an upgrade lead very early on. He's actually going to attack yet again. He has a very strong army here. He sends one group in, a storm hits it. He doesn't even get the Templar, so that was a good storm by Parting. Like I said, he does not hesitate. Here we go. Parting is going to commit, running in with his zealots now.
Charging in and a stutter step for Marine King once again, just beautiful, but more High Templars.
Oh my God.
The positioning of Parting's High Templars is amazing. And he is playing solo, but still he's behind in supply, just trying to chase down these units. The StarTale bench is clapping here, and Marine King is once again on the retreat.
He is losing supply, but he's ahead in supply. Coming in with his second wave of units here. Parting will have to retreat. Parting showing off a great new skill here. I think we should call it Psystorm flanking, because that's basically what he's doing, keeping Templar on the other side of the army. His observers are always everywhere, so he can see his opponent's movement, so he knows exactly where to position his Templar before the battle even begins.
The thing is that Templar are just so slow, so it takes a lot of planning to actually get them into this position in time so that you can fight accordingly. We have a fourth base for both of these players right now. Parting as well as Marine King with 4 bases. We have +3/+3 nearly done for Marine King, and a nice scan reveals another observer. How many observers does he have at this point in time?
He has 3 more,
Still
so
3.
He used to have 4 until he's actually moving them around constantly.
He's actually getting another one right now, so this is really... The storms and the observers are really trademark style for
This is a scary moment. It's 115. Oh, great storms. It's 115 supply to 50 supply. Marine King with twice the supply here with better upgrades.
Oh my God,
May end this game.
This split is insane, and 60 supply ahead, 70. He's nearly maxed out. Marine King on the move. Is he trying to end things here?
He definitely has the opportunity to right now with more than twice the supply of his opponent in army. If he just attacks again, he has better upgrades now as well. This is going to be so crazy if he actually attacks at this point.
We have another robotics bay being built for Parting. He's getting the robotics facility as well. We have already one war prism on its way, but does he have the time to actually get Colossi? Yeah, I kind of doubt it, as Marine King is moving in, splitting his army. There are no stops. He takes part. The Zealots, the Stalkers, they die, and the last few remaining High Templar, are they enough? It doesn't look like it. Most of the army's down to the red, but it doesn't matter anymore, as Marine King just rolls over the 4th base of his opponent, takes down the army.
GG! Marine King rewriting history today at the GSTL Finals.
And there we have it. Parting has gone down. Marine King Prime wins the game. Who is going to come in next for StarTale?
Marine King.
All right, Marine King rewrote history with that game, I have to say. His very fast 3-3 upgrades came to play at the last second there. He just had a huge supply lead over his opponent, having that faster 4th base, and this time Marine King, the clear victor.
He doesn't look too happy, so though it's a little bit of a tainted victory nonetheless, which is a bit of a problem here. I think he's not too happy usually as soon as he wins the game. He's really cheery. He knows that he won this game and he deserved to win it, but it's always a little bit tainted because of the match that we had before.
But Marine King does get revenge on the Marine Prince. Maru takes out Parting here and ties up the series 2-2.
He ties the series, and we are going to see fairly soon who's going to be the next player for StarTale. And Parting had a really, really good run.
Let's find out who it's going to be. I don't know, man. Who could they pick? There's so many different options. Are they going to pull out someone like Virus to do a TBT? Could they even pull out the Foreigner Sase? Anything is possible here.
In the last match, it was actually Curious who took down Marine King, so that might also be an option for the StarTale team to pull off here. Curious is a very, very good Zerg player, and he might just be in the position to take down Marine King. So they're just talking right now and about the next player. And it's going to be really interesting who Marine King is going to face next.
Yeah, I'm actually really interested as well. There's a lot of discussion over there on the StarTale bench. Let's find out who it's going to be. No more waiting. I think we're going to find out in just a second. Who is the next StarTale player?
All right, coming in next for StarTale, the first player to all kill in the new Best of 9 format. Fast and furious, he is Bomber!
Wow, it is time for the boss mode. Bomber is entering the stage. He was the first player in the current season who was able to pull off an all-kill.
Oh man, he is the first one to pull off the all-kill for this season, just like you said. Can he take out Marine King? He looked great in his pool play yesterday. Marine King looks a little bit stressed out, but I think he definitely can take this game. It's going to be really close.
This is going to be really great, especially as you already mentioned with the pool play games that we saw yesterday by Bomber. He played against MMA and he had no problem at all taking the series with 2-0. He looked so strong in his TBT, and even though this is one of Marine King's best matchups, this is not going to be an easy task for him.
Absolutely not. Look at his win rate for his team here. You can see he's got over 1 at 1.45. And it becomes out first. He has a 75% win rate. That is pretty impressive. He's won most of the time he starts for his team. That's no easy feat.
The map is going to be Daybreak. This is the map that we are going to see in the Terran versus Terran. There's a lot of stuff that he can pull off on Daybreak. We have seen matches that start with 14cc for both players. We've also seen proxy barracks with Marauder attacks. So this is going to be really exciting. What is Bomber going to do against Marine King in order to avenge parting?
It's going to be tough, man. I really cannot wait to see this match. Marine King is really good at TBT these days, but it's been a weak match than it is in the past, and I cannot wait to see what strategies he do. Daybreak is the map of choice for Bomber. That means that he probably doesn't want to play against a Protoss. But this is really smart by Bomber because he gets rid of this map, because if Bomber wins this one, Prime may want to put Creator out next, but he can't use this map anymore.
So there they are, the two of them getting ready. Terran versus Terran, StarTale Bomber against Marine King Prime. And we are good to go. Last player gets invited into the lobby.
Yep, as soon as we get Bomber back into this lobby, we are going to be good to go. He said go, so I think the game will begin. Caldor, are you ready?
I am so ready. What about you guys? Are you ready for Bomber against Marine King?
All right, let's start the game now. Here at the GSTL Finals in Las Vegas, the score is 2-2. Only one team will pull ahead. Who will it be?